Greetings and welcome to a celebration of Paul Chaplow's Amarillo flights. I'd like to thank Paul for this marvelous follow-up to his earlier Marfa flights, aerial views of Big Bend County, and I'd like to thank as well his talented pilots and crew. My name is MacDonald and I am a professor of American literature at West Texas A&M University and series editor of the Texas A&M Press series American West, of which Paul's book is a part. None of this would be possible without the inspired and learned work of Jay Dew, Tom Lemons, Tricia Klaba, and the A&M Press staff. And hearty thanks as well, of course, to the Panhandle-Plains Historical Museum, whose exhibit of Paul's work pays tribute to his talents and to the beauty of our shared high plains. Paul's book, as I'm sure you know, is sure to delight and interest all who appreciate wide open western spaces. For this book, Paul worked with his wife Cynthia and his capable pilots, covering over 40,000 square miles, and some of that in knuckle-bending weather, white-knuckle weather as he calls it. Paul's work highlights not only beautiful scenery, but also the history and culture of this land. This isn't merely a coffee table book, but a valuable and fascinating history of a region. It's also a personal journey and a series of anthropological and geographical reflections. The book, like the Llano Estacado itself, is filled with what Paul charmingly calls turbulent air and history. As a reader, you'll find excellent artistic background in this volume as Paul reviews previous portraits of the land, from Louise Daniels' work to that of Frank Ray. His narrative commentary on previous photographic and artistic histories lends a beautiful context to Marfa flights, and it situates the work in a larger conversation I know we can all enjoy. Truly, the range of these land portraits is stunning and unforgettable. From Glen Rio to the 406-foot drop into an arroyo south of San Juan, you are sure to increase your appreciation of natives, Spanish, Mexicans, and Anglos who have lived here before us. Indeed, throughout the photographs and commentary, I'm reminded of the challenges that have met all who have lived here on these high plains. Water has either been tragically scarce or fiercely torrential, whether for those living along the playas in native times, or for Coronado wandering the high plains, or for Mackenzie entering into Comancheria, not to mention modern-day farmers and ranchers trying to make a living here in this dry climate. Along the way, you'll also delight in the book's unexpected nuggets. Cadillac Ranch, of course, makes a showing, but so too do lesser-known sites such as a POW camp and a farm field, or a 1960s landscape art installation, and seldom witnessed segments of the old Route 66, every single one of them a delight and a surprise. You know, many visitors to the plains visit Paladuro Canyon and go through the loop in their cars, but they can easily miss the canny and twisting side canyons that wind and dive from the upper reaches of that flat to the deep streams and washes below. Here down in the canyon, previous residents took shelter in extreme weather, watered and fed their livestock, and took refuge from war parties. From the trails, rivers, railroads, and interstates that wind through this land, to the village sites, forts, ranches, and towns that populate the area, and to the clouds, rains, and winds that whoosh and rush right over it, Paul Chaplow's memorable portraits of these historically complicated and beautiful places is sure to compel you to take a closer look at the beauties of this vast and shared region. May you enjoy the exhibit at the Panhandle-Plains Historical Museum, and may you enjoy this exciting new book.